I'm really grateful to be here. The energy is um the energy for this new moon is really substantial. And I I've been doing this work for such an extended period of time now, probably about 13 years or so, that I just feel the energy, but my life doesn't always reflect sort of the chaos that can be present during these um, new and full moon energies. Like I've taught myself how to contain my emotions and use my energy more intently and not be as pulled off or thrown out of my field by these new energies, because I just know what happens when they come, right? So it's like, oh, this is what happens. This happened last time, so I don't need to react to this any longer. But this energy is super intense, and we are ushering in um, so, there's a lot of jargon around astrology, and a lot of, in the West, we tend to sort of try to sell everything, right? Everything is some sort of marketing tool. So there's this Lionsgate portal that is a real thing. It's how when the sun is aligned to the star Sirius, and there is this new energy coming in through this 8-8 portal. And the opportunity is, because it's Leo, it's about really keeping your heart open. Or I don't want to say keeping your heart open, but like questioning yourself in the spaces where your heart is not open. Let's say it that way, right? Because things ebb and flow. So if you are holding on to things, stories, experiences, beliefs, where your heart is blocked, this is an opportunity for you to really be questioning the why and the what of that. And I'll just use for me, I feel like my life is pretty much of an open book. And I really have interesting stuff around race. Like it just gets my attention and my heart will just turn over and just take its game and is not playing anymore. And I get to question that. What is that about for you? Why do you feel like that when these race issues come up? What do you believe? And I answer those questions. I answer those questions. I believe that white people are harmful. I believe, like, I answer that stuff so that I can begin to renegotiate those ideas in my mindset, because those things are closing my heart. So they have to be addressed. The tendency we might want to justify, well, this person did that, and so that's why I should hold them there. This person lied, this person did this person, like, question it all. This is not the time to hold on to stuff. And why I'm saying that is because in this Leo energy, it's literally about coming back to our internal child power. And there's no power as strong as that of like a child, the purity, the freedom before the mind and the ego starts to divide and separate and prove and all of that pure child energy, that open-hearted love energy. It's like, I don't know, I remember when I was a child, I remember what it was like to like love. Like I remember the feeling, like when I would see somebody sing, like when I first saw The Wiz. Oh my God. When I first saw The Wiz, talk about love at fucking first sight. Like, how could you not? Like that kind of love, right? Like when you hear somebody sing something that just moves you, and they just take the wind out of your gut, because the sound that emanates from them, or when you can feel compassion, when you look at someone and you might see this, let me tell you, there's nothing like watching people in their suffering and how compelling it is and how much compassion can be drawn from either being with yourself in your own suffering or being with others in theirs. This is the energy of Leo. This is the strength, right? That power to be able to endure through love, though. It's not enduring through servitude. It's not enduring through, like I'm better or comparison or any of that. It's enduring through this incredible capacity of the heart, which is the muscle in our body that it starts, like literally, for those of you who have had children and you can recollect that experience of going to the doctor and they finding the heartbeat early on, like within a week or two of your pregnancy, the heartbeat starts and it does not stop until you walk off of this plane. Like that is some motherfucking incredible ass shit. Like you cannot deny the power of that. It never gets charged. You never take it out and plug it up in the wall. You never do any. So the least you could do is manicure it of your resistance, of your stress, of your unforgiveness. You can take some time to tend to it. Your feelings about your parents, your feelings about your childhood, the things that happened, the people in your childhood that hurt your feelings, right? Y'all know y'all still holding on to some of that shit. I had an experience a couple of years ago, a woman that when I was 15 years old, she hurt my feelings in the 10th grade. And she asked me something. I was doing a podcast and she came and she said, "Can I be on your podcast?" And I had to clutch my heart. I was 50 years old and this woman did something. We were 15. Now I told her, fuck no, she could not be on my podcast, but I did sit down. I sat down and said, "Do you see what's happening here? That you are holding on to something from when you were 15 years old." And I adjusted it. I was like, okay, we're going to fix that, but she's not going to be on my podcast. Right. But it's, we hold on to stuff and we don't even know it. And then it presents itself and your resistance shows up, your shame, your whatever it is, it shows up. And so we have to tend to it. We have to tend to our hearts. And the thing that's so significant right now, this Leo energy, and we're in this new cycle. I've been talking about the new cycle for a long time, right? This new cycle, we're in the early months of it, but we are in it nonetheless. And this new cycle is really shedding the old consciousness, the old identities, the Western way of thinking, the ways that are out of sync with nature, the nature of who we are, the essence of who we are, the essence of the universe, and shedding that. And the thing that Spirit keeps telling me, which literally blows my mind, is like your DNA has the memory from the very first ancestor that was activated to make you. This is thousands of years ago. I mean, it's like, and we've lived so many experiences. And as we're shedding the old, it's like if you're shedding this old narrative of obedience and conformity, as you shed it, your original frequency has to be revealed. Who you really are, the person that you don't even know that you really are. because we're in this reality that is an illusion of what really is. And that's a hard concept to get. You got to really feel it. You got to feel, because the world that we're in, sometimes I watch the movie The Matrix over and over and over again, because I just need to really understand it in an intellectual and spiritual way. the world as we see it is really an illusion. And this stuff is so fucking hard because we're so in it. We're so conditioned in it, right? But, you know, the calendar that we're in started 2,000 years ago at Jesus Christ's, whoever, maybe whoever, but like, is that real? But this calendar is according to, it's 2,000 years, and the earth is certainly older than 2,000 years, and humanity is certain. So we're so cut off from the fullness of our history, the fullness of our energy, our capacities, all of that. And as we move through ages and things like that, cultures have come and gone that don't exist anymore. Like we can't find the rubbish of them. There's no map of them. There's no, you know, we have some, but like we have Egypt, and we have some old things that are some old archaeology, and, you know, whatever the scientific language is. I'm not going to try to force myself into that mindset right now, but we have existed many lifetimes and many timelines. And as we do the work to reconcile those energies inside of us of unforgiveness and disbelief and shame and guilt, the old falls away, and who we are at our essence and core has to be revealed. It has to be revealed, but you have to peel it away. You have to peel it away through actually confronting those things inside of you. You have to confront it. And the thing to know is that, yes, it can feel really, really, really scary. Like your life could show up by dismantling things, like things fall apart, you know, relationships fall apart, your work stuff falls apart, things fall apart. But if you can trust the process, and whatever you need to do to trust the process, you know, whether it be get coaching or join, you know, do meditation, like whatever it is for you to do to trust the process is what needs to happen, because you are in no danger, is what I really need you to know. You are in no danger. And as the old systems come undone, they are unraveling in your psyche. So you'll begin to, things won't feel right. And relationships that were rooted in codependence and you not speaking up or you taking too much, you know what I mean? Those relationships will come undone. And the tendency might be to tell the story about the other person. They did that, or it's really none of that at all. It really is none of that. It really is just, it's time for the constructs to come undone and for you to come into your sovereignty, whatever that means for you. Okay, so I see you guys, there's some comments here. Hello, everyone. Okay, great. Hellos, that's fine. Okay, so with that in mind, I want to really encourage you, you know, just to be present, to ask yourself questions like, what is royalty to you? What is it? You know, it's so easy to get tripped up in this capitalistic country and things and money and all of that. And I'm not saying that that's not a part of it, but that's an expression of it, but that's not the fullness of it. You know, having physical power is a part of royalty. But when this week, as I've been meditating and asking spirit, my higher self, what does royalty mean? And it keeps pointing me to, it means having dominion over this universe, over this reality, that you have dominion over it. And what does that mean for you? Like, I can't tell you what that means. I can tell you what it means for me to have dominion over it. For me, it means that I know how I'm creating my reality. I know that I am the creator of my reality. I know that there is a unseen force that is functioning through me, in me, and around me, like fish to water. I know that. I know that it is constantly, I am in it. I am of it. So it is, as I understand it and recognize it and commune with it, I become more aligned with it. And then my reality begins to manifest my internal my internal mind and way of thinking begins to come my external reality really rapidly, really fast. So there's a lot of responsibility in that, because, you know, I have to, it's my greatest desire to function from love, because if it's coming really fast and I'm functioning from fear, then that's not ideal, you know? So that's what it means for me to have dominion, to really function in my relationship to this universe and environment from the highest perspective of love that I can access. So get clear about what your own definition of royalty is, what your definition of having dominion is. You know, see where you are, where your heart energy is blocked, where you're holding yourself hostage, you know, or somebody else, or the idea of somebody else. It's important to really know that everything in your life comes out of your own mind and own thinking. So even the villains in your life, you created them. You created them unconsciously. That's a really interesting thing. People, I work with clients all the time, and they'll say, well, why would I create that? Because you needed to learn from it. And I, you know, in my own work, sometimes I feel, you know, challenged saying things. Recently I said something about rape and how we create those scenarios. And this woman came and she said, she actually said, would you not say that? That's basically, she was like, that's too painful for me to hear that I created that. And I was like, I hear you. And, you know, the alarm is ringing now. The days are over for talking to people in soft ways, that like the siren is ringing, especially for the feminine. If we don't understand that we are the creator of this reality through our subconscious power, manifesting our thoughts, we have children that walk the earth, but everything that walks the earth comes out of a woman, every freaking thing. And if we cannot have the courage to look at our wounds and our shadows and our traumas and take responsibility, then we will continue to recreate the world as it is. And I'm not saying that the masculine doesn't have an aspect of that, absolutely. But even the men come out of our portals. They all come from us. So those are things that we have to begin to negotiate. What if you really want to understand your power? You got to really understand that you have a lot of it. You have a lot of it. It is enormous. And you do have to be responsible for it. That is royalty, that you are responsible for your power, for your energy. So I do, this is my last planting moon meditation. I've been doing this for years at PLA. This is my last planting moon meditation with PLA. And so first of all, I'm just so grateful to have been in a community where I could do this every month for years and be supported and loved and seen. And oh, it's just amazing. So I'm so grateful. And I just, before I move into the meditation, I want to ask if anybody has any questions or anything that they want to share a little bit. I'm open to that, because afterwards, once we go into meditation, we won't be, I don't want to talk afterwards. So, so if anybody wants to share anything, take yourself off mute and ask or share. Thank you, Sunny.
Just hi, I just wanted to say that I'm happy to be here. I'm grateful to be here with you all.
Thank you, Jenny.
Same here, Moon Mom. I appreciate you, and I appreciate you each and every day for all that you do. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Rob. Absolutely. All right, you all. Okay. So I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm going to Egypt in September. And so I can't imagine that this is my last, like, this is my path. This is my work. This is what I'm going to do. I just don't know what it's going to look like. And it will look like something. So I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going to go do, it's just going to change, shift a little bit. And we'll see what that's like, you know? So I'm super excited. And all right. So everybody, you can find yourself in a comfortable seated position. And if you have your goals or intentions, your objectives that you've been working with, please, hold them in your heart, hold them in your consciousness. Yeah, I think the most significant thing to really be present to is the energy of your inner child, and giving yourself the permission to really play, really give yourself the permission to believe that this is all just a playground. I'm telling you, like, we've been in the fucking dark ages, okay? And it has been a nice little experience of human hell for probably the last 1,500 years. And guess what? That shit is over with now. But we have to climb ourselves out of it. It won't just vanish. You have to bring your consciousness out of it. You have to shed the skin of it. And in doing so, the universe will meet you in the most incredible, miraculous ways. And so I just encourage you to challenge yourself, to show up for your own magic, for your own power, and allow the universe to mesmerize you. Allow yourself to be mesmerized by what's possible, because it's that time on the planet. And while the whole world is like going crazy in this peculiar way, it's so peculiar. It's like, what is happening? Because the astrology is like, it's pure fucking magic, baby. That's it. It's pure magic. So unplug from the chaos and the fear and the stories. Do what you need to do to take care of yourself so that you feel safe. If it means you have to repeat a mantra every day, 15,000 times a day, I will say to myself, God is, I am, Goddess is, I am, really asking the presence of the Goddess to reveal herself through me. No, I'm just going to Egypt for a couple of weeks. And so we get to cultivate these energies so that we can become the thing itself, so that we are conscious and aware of ourselves as the thing itself. Conscious and aware of your creations. Okay. So thank you, Spirit. Allow yourself to come into a peacefully seated position. To feel into the fire that is in your heart. This Leo energy, this passion, this power, fire, creativity. This is the core of what it means to be a God on planet Earth, to be a creator, to create in the image and likeness of God. This is who and what you are. This is what you've always been. This is what you came here to do, to have the experience as God on planet Earth, to make magic, to make miracles, and to do so playfully and joyfully and through your heart and through the power of love, through the power of knowing that there is nothing against you, that you cannot fail. It's not possible, that your success and your victories are already written. From the beginning of time, it is in your DNA. And so at this time on the planet, I just want us to bring into consciousness that the power of the universe is activated within us. And in this activation of this power, that we have personal authority in every way, that we are the co-creators with our higher selves. There is nothing outside of you. You are it. I am a figment of your projection. I am a picture of your picture of what you need right now. This is all you, all yours, all born out of your heart, all out of your pure desire to know yourself as God. And so as we move into the age of Aquarius, activating that divine DNA, that God consciousness, that original blueprint, as we come out of the mindset of going without, trusting and knowing that everything is within us because we were born with it. We came here with everything we need. All the light that we need, that we have traveled with from time beginning, is here now. The light is your creative power. Your mind is your magic wand. Your imagination is the canvas by which you create the world that you live in. You are the queen of your kingdom. You are the king of your castle. There is none other than you. And so it is in this reality, in this mindset, that we give thanks for the ancestors. We give thanks for all of those who come before us, who stand with us, who have loved us, who have given themselves freely. Freely from their hearts and their blood and their bone and their womb and their hands and their love and their tears. We give thanks for them. And so in this moment, in your mind, call the name of those ancestors that you have to thank for your life. Those who are living beings or humans that come before you, or maybe like for me, my ancestors, some of them have been trees that I have loved so profoundly, giving me messages and hope and power. So it is from this place of thanksgiving and gratitude for the energies and the powers and the beings, the light beings, the saints, the soldiers, those who, gosh, crossed the Atlantic Ocean, whether they crossed willingly or on the bottoms of ships. It was all for this. It was all for this moment. whether they played as master or slave, it was all for this. It was all for this moment, for you to be able to declare your fucking freedom. For you to be able to outlive any idea that anything can hold you down, that anything can keep you small, that anything can take your life, but that you give it away. And if you do not give it, it cannot be fucking taken. Your power is yours. You were born with all of your power. And so in this moment, I trust and I know that every place that you gave your power away, that is leaking, that is holding on to some old belief system, some old unforgiveness, some idea of victimization, some idea that your ancestors were harmed or hindered in any kind of way, all of those frequencies and energies from this lifetime or any are rewound and come back to you right here, right now. You are filled with the light of the power of all things that are yours. Nothing can be taken from you that is yours. And you cannot give it away. You cannot give it away. It is recovered in this instant. And so it is.
And so it is.
And so in the glory of the light that we are, that you call back all of your power, knowing that it is yours, that it has always been, we absolutely align in this moment, right here, right now, holding the energy of that which is your pure desire. It lives in that first and second chakra. The power of the peacekeeper, that energy that swells, that you ride in pleasure and power and creation. It lives in your sexuality. It lives in your beingness. It is the power to bring life to whatever it is that you desire. How will you use it? Create your queendom, create your empire, build it in your mind. It is of your essence. It is of your fire. It is of your earth. It is of your blood. It is of your breath. It is of your bone. Name it. Name it. Name it. Let your heart fling wide open and allow the desire of the universe. Do not be afraid of it. Do not be afraid to feel the fullness of your desire. Ride it. Ride it like the waves of consciousness that turn night from day and day to night. Change your reality. Change your reality by naming it, by feeling it and riding it from one frequency to the next. Use your power. Use your power. Use your power. Your creative genius. It is what you are here to do, to experience the essence of God that is who you are. And so as we ride into this Lion's Gate, this alignment with the energy, the power, the light, the star that is Sirius, which it is told seeded this earth realm, that we are the beings from Sirius that seeded this earth realm thousands of years ago. And if this is your truth, or if this energy moves through you, be willing to ask. what would you have me do at this time, in this time continuum on the planet? What am I here to birth? What am I here to create? What does the energy desire through me, as me? What is the tone of your magic? What is the sense of your creations? And guess what? You can have anything you want. Nothing is withheld. And if it is being withheld, it's because you are withholding it from yourself. And so in this moment, call before you in your mind, in your heart, your goals, your objectives for this new moon, this Leo new moon. My objective is to reveal the royalty, the royal line that is my organic blueprint. My objective is to be surrounded by people who live in the royal court of their own consciousness. We are the embodiment of the planets and the stars made manifest in human form. I know this is true. What do you know? So bring that intention, that objective into your consciousness, whatever yours is, whatever it is. And in your mind's eye, see the flame of your heart, that eternal flame that has been beating since you were conceived in your mother's womb. But it was alive in the energy field long before it started beating in your mother's womb. It's ancient. It's always been. So envision that in your mind's eye. That is the flame of your soul. Timeless. Has lived in many timelines and many cultures, many universes. You've done so much, so much. It was too much to remember. And that's okay. So into that flame, allow yourself to be consumed by that desire and allow that desire to take you over. It is the creative power. You know what you desire. You know what desire feels like. You know how it lives in your solar plexus. It is the fire of life. And without it, you cease to exist. Without it, you begin to atrophy. So let it exist for the sake of existence. You can give it something to consume and create, or you can just be in awe of your power. This universal creative power, which has the pull, the magnetic pull of the fire that burns at the core of the earth, that creates a gravitational pull that brings everything to it. Didn't you know we're stuck in these bodies? We are stuck in these bodies because the earth core is pulling us, pulling us. So be with that flame that is in your heart. Allow it to consume you. Allow yourself to become the thing that you desire the most. What is that? Feel it. And make peace with it. Let it lead you. Let it carry you. Let it burn you. Let it pleasure you. Let it make your heart race. Let it consume you until you don't know yourself from it. Until you don't know yourself from the fire that you are, from the creative portal that you are. Become one with your creative intention at all times, because you are already anyway. Just bring your conscious awareness to it. And so when you are ready, maybe take that flame and hold it in your hands, in your mind's eye. And then put it into your heart chamber and just allow it to burn. Just allow it to lead you to be courageous, to build the reality that you desire, to use your magic at your will, to trust yourself, to know that you are safe everywhere you go, to know that you cannot fail, that failure is not even an option, that it's already written that you have already had the victory. To wake up each morning, to put your feet on the floor knowing that this is your motherfucking empire. This is your reality. And the only thing that is here is all that you have welcomed and invited. And when something shows up that feels like, well, thank you for showing up, and I'm going to ask you to shift into something else because this is your house. And so it is in the name and the nature of the God consciousness that abides in you and each and every person within the sound of my voice, not only you, but your family members, your ancestors, the trees and the mountains and everything that is around you. Right here, right now is the power of the universe. We cannot be separate from it. And so I give thanks for the fulfillment of our heart's desires, for the flame and the passion of our souls to be God on this planet. I give thanks that it is so. In gratitude, power, and love, I let it be, saying, and so it is. Ashe. Thank you, beautiful people, for coming this evening. I love y'all so much. Each and every one of you. And the new moon comes in tomorrow morning at like 6:30 Pacific Standard Time, 9:30 or 9:50 Eastern. And so I encourage you to be with this energy in your planting until then. Just be present to it. Feel good, play, dance, be in your pleasure. Hold it until tomorrow morning. Peace and blessings. Good night.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.